What kind of monster just kicks their sister out into the cold in the middle of winter? Like, she has nowhere else to go. What could she have possibly done to justify something like that? Hi, my lovelies. Happy Tuesday. Welcome back for all my wonderful lovelies out there. And if you've never been here before, hi, my name is Rebecca Rogers and I'm so happy that you're here. We are continuing to judge people's life choices / offer advice and tell them if they acted appropriately or not. Now, I did see y'all's feedback last week about the idea of adding another chair during a conversation. Love it. Definitely gonna try it. Not today. I still have a couple weeks till we move into the new house and I just won't have space for that till the new house. But we will try it. And I have more things to talk to you guys about at the end. But I'll save it for the end because I know a lot of you guys are ready to get into these stories. So without further ado, let's get started with this week's episode of Am I the Bad Apple? And y'all, we've got to break the pattern. For weeks on weeks on weeks, we've been doing 2 good apples, 1 bad apple, 1 crab apple, and it's all accident. I just pick random. I go through the subreddit and I just put them in a little vault and I'm just like, oh, the next 4 on the list, let's use them. I don't know how that keeps happening. Today's the day we break it. I feel it in my bones. Let's go apple picking. Apple number 1. Am I the bad apple for trying to surprise my boyfriend? My boyfriend recently got a new job in Beverly Hills and has a pretty long commute. Meanwhile, I live and work in South Orange County as a teacher. Because of our different work hours and commute times, we haven't really been able to hang out as often as we did before he got this job. However, since I got last Friday off for Veterans Day, I thought it would be nice to drive over after work and surprise him when he comes home. This morning I got up extra early to shower and pack my thing, along with some snacks I got him since he mentioned a while back that he didn't have any good ones in his pantry like I do in mine. He texted me this afternoon that he was gonna go get dinner and catch up with some old friends after work that day. Apparently, they had planned this like a month in advance, but he forgot all about it until his Google Calendar reminded him. To be clear, I'm not annoyed that he's catching up with his friends. I'm annoyed because I've mentioned several, and I cannot stress that enough, several times that I don't like when he forgets about something he committed to and it affects our existing plans, as this has happened so many times in the past. At the beginning of the year, I even got him a wall calendar as a way to help him stay more organized, which he hasn't used.
Because he already uses Google Calendar and it already works for him.
Which to me is very ironic in this case. I told him I was planning to come surprise him and visit him after work, but since he won't be home till late, I'll just come over tomorrow. He said he was down to cancel on his friend since he was tired anyways and would rather come home, and I just said he should have told me. But then he said I should have told him I was coming so he could have canceled immediately. That defeats the whole purpose of a surprise. I said he should have written down that he was gonna go meet his friends on the calendar I got him so that I would have been aware he was busy and wouldn't have planned a surprise for the day. He said he was still seeing me today because he canceled on dinner, so I shouldn't be upset. But I said he didn't need to cancel on his friends on my account and that canceling wasn't the point or the solution. I told him his friends were probably excited to catch up and that he was just being careless and forgot due to his lack of planning and organizational skills. I told him that I was so excited to surprise him, but now I didn't have the opportunity because he made me ruin it. He said, I know, but I just saw the notification right now, so I couldn't have told you any sooner. At that point, I just stopped responding because it felt like I was talking to a brick wall and he really didn't get the point of what I was saying. I really don't think I am, but just go ahead and tell me. Am I the bad apple? Starting off strong. Yes! I don't understand why you're so mad. You went on this whole thing about how his organizational skills have ruined existing plans for you before, but this wasn't an existing plan. Like, it was not planned between the two of you. You had a plan, but he knew nothing about it. Your boyfriend is in no way, shape, or form the bad apple at all. You're being a jerk. I get you wanted to surprise him and that's sweet, but when you don't let half the party in on the plan, you can't be upset when they don't do exactly what you just expect them to. They don't know.
Let's just calm down. I'm sure we can settle this peacefully.
And not only that, once he found out you had a plan, he canceled everything he had going on. Like, that was really sweet. Listen, I did something like this before. But I didn't get mad. I guess it was a little different. It wasn't with a boyfriend or anything like that. For those of you that follow me on a lot of different social media accounts, you know that I'm really close with Ben Brainerd. He's always one step ahead of me all the time. So one day I was going to go to California and I didn't tell him because I wanted to surprise him, right? I wanted to just show up at his house and prank him, and it was like this whole thing. I planned it for months, okay? Months. I got a bunch of friends in on it. I was ready, or so I thought. Because when I got there, not only did he have plans, movie plans with another friend that I didn't even take into consideration, somehow he just, of course, knew I was there anyways. But that being said, it didn't go the way I planned because that happens when you try to surprise people. It doesn't always go the way that you expect it to because they don't know they're supposed to block out time. They don't know they're supposed to do something specific. It happens. No one's the bad apple because of it, but you're the bad apple for being angry and blaming him for it. Honestly, the fact that he was so willing to cancel all of his plans for you just like that is really sweet. He's a good one. Don't mess it up. Tea time. Stay hydrated and caffeinated. We don't need any casualties today. Apple number 2. Am I the bad apple for being a bad influence on the kids? There's this fun day fundraiser at my niece's and nephew's school, and my sister's a part of the parent association, so she's been busy helping organize the whole thing and finding people to volunteer and help out. A week ago, she asked me to help out with face painting and leading some of the games and activities. She's my sister, so obviously I agreed and even bought and paid for all the paint myself. So the thing about me is I do have a side hustle. It's the OnlyFans. I'm nowhere near the top echelon of creators, but I make a sizable amount from it. I don't advertise it publicly or anything like that. I haven't told many people about it outside of close family and friends. But today I go to the logistics meeting for the fundraiser and my sister pulled me aside. Apparently, another parent on the association knows about my OnlyFans and told a bunch of the other parents and organizers, and now they have a problem with my involvement on the fundraiser. They're a Christian school and my side hustle goes against their morals, so they say I'm not allowed to help out. They seem to think I'd lead their kids astray into starting their own OnlyFans while playing some running games. I doubt they held the same energy for the person who somehow knew about my OnlyFans. But that's neither here nor there. The point is, my sister said that I'm off the team because of all this, and I told them all to F off and just left. But now I'm kind of insecure about it. I mean, am I really that bad of an influence on these kids? Just having a side hustle that I don't talk about in public? I bet this is so common these days, and that's sad. I have a feeling a lot of people are not only going to disagree with me on this, but might be really angry at me for my opinion. Mind your business. When you guys go to babysit kids or watch kids, do you guys who are doctors explain to them the blood and guts that go into the surgery that you just performed last week? No. The police officers out there, do you guys go and explain in detail to children that bank robbery that you stopped? No. Firefighters, when you had a building on fire with people inside, when you watch kids or hang out with kids at family events or anything like that, do you like explain to them the trauma of that kind of stuff that you see at work? No, you definitely do not. So why is it assumed that anyone that has a kind of side hustle, whether it be on OnlyFans, even if it's a main source of income, whether they're a dancer or something like that, why do you assume that these grown adults are like, oh, I can't wait to tell these 8-year-olds what I do all day?
Fake news. It's fake, phony, fake.
How does that make sense? And better yet, this is an elementary school. Why would the kids know? I know someone's gonna be like, because it's on the internet and they could find it. If your kids find that on the internet, that's a you problem. You allowed that to happen. That's not just something that they could accidentally stumble upon. That's something that they would need an account and a credit card. Like, no. And I know she's gonna buy that point real quick, but she's right. Clearly, another parent on there is putting in their credit card information for this site for them to even know she's on there. Are they also being excused from this fundraiser? I'm sorry, is it different because one is paying and one is getting paid? make it make sense. You do not pay that girl's rent. You do not pay for her food. Like, you do not pay bills at that woman's house. You have no authority over what she does for income or what she does on her daily basis. And I know someone in the comments is gonna be like, well, Rebecca, their morals, they just don't agree with it. You don't have to agree with it, but if I'm not mistaken, in the Christian world, nobody is perfect and everyone sins. So you can think that what she's doing is a sin, but who are you to judge her for hers when you have your own? Mind your business. Good apple. Apple number 3. Am I the bad apple for refusing to accept my ex's new relationship? I'm a single dad of 2 girls, 5 and 7. They go to the same school and their mom and I take turns in picking them up and dropping them off at school. Their mom started dating this guy, Sean, about 4 months ago. He's already moved in and is living with the girls at their mom's house. That really makes me uncomfortable. I got a call from their mom the other day asking for my approval to put Sean on the girls' school emergency contact list. I actually laughed thinking, are you serious? What would I do that for? She got pissed and defensive and said, well, he bought a new car. I asked, what does that have to do with anything? She explained that she had to start working more and that she might not be available in case of emergency and wanted Sean to be able to act on her behalf if and when something happens. I said, God forbid if something were to happen. The last person I want acting in emergency is her boyfriend of 4 months. I called her delusional and told her she shouldn't be putting work over her daughter's safety in an emergency anyways. She just got more pissy. She called me unhinged, jealous, uncooperative, and nasty. That I clearly don't have the girl's best interest at heart and that I just refused to accept her new relationship. I hung up and she kept calling me and then had her mom call me to tell me to just do it and stop being petty. That I clearly just don't like the girl's new future stepdad. And that again, I was having trouble accepting my ex's new relationship. Please, she can date whoever she wants. I've been getting a lot of heat from my in-laws over this, but I really don't feel comfortable with this request. So, am I the bad apple? I am of the believer that not everyone's timeline has to be the same, you know? Some people date for a few years and get married. Some people date for a year. Some people date for a little less than that. And I don't think that's my business to judge. With that being said, when you have children, I don't know how on board I am with a guy you've only known for 4 months moving in with young girls like that. That's, in my opinion, is a little bit of a red flag. I don't necessarily blame the dad for being uncomfortable. An emergency contact's gotta be someone that you trust and know has the girl's best interest at heart. And has he even met the guy? Why would it not be an in-law? Why would it not be a mutual friend? I don't understand why it has to be this new guy that's only been around for 4 months. But when you know, you know. And some people only need that long to know, hey, I'm gonna marry this person. But it isn't that long of a time, you know? Like, the girls were in the womb for less than half of that time, you know?
You do the math.
I honestly think that I have to side with dad on that one. I think that would make me uncomfortable also. But as you guys know, I don't have kids. I've never been in that kind of situation. I've only been married once and we're still happily married. I don't know, maybe there's someone else that can shed some insight on something that I might be missing. I would love to hear your thoughts. If that's the case, let me know down in the comments if you guys agree or disagree. But just based off of my own experiences, I think I'm on dad's side on this one. I think he's the good apple. I don't think it has anything to do with him being jealous or unhinged or nasty like the mom is yelling at him. I think that's a little harsh. I think she really wants this relationship to work out, and I think that she's really excited and is frustrated that he's not. But I don't think there's anything wrong with him being as uncomfortable as he is. So, good apple in my opinion. All right, so far we're at 2 good apples and 1 bad apple. Can we break the pattern? We need something other than a crab apple. Something other than a crab apple. Let's see. Apple number 4. Am I the bad apple for kicking out my sister? I met my husband a few months after his first wife died in a car accident, and we got married 2 years after that. We've been together 6 years and we love each other. My husband was devastated when his first wife died, and I told him I never expected to replace her in any way and considered myself a different chapter in his life. I was warmly accepted into his family and his circle of friends. We're very happy. My sister recently fell on hard times. She lost her job, her apartment, and pretty much everything. So we took her in. My husband's always had a home office, and one day my sister was poking around the house when he was out. She discovered a photo of him and his first wife among the frame pictures that he has. It's not their wedding photo or anything, it's just a typical cute couple photo. It's the only printed photo of her in the house, taken a few months before her accident. They didn't have any kids, so pictures are really all that he has, and there's way more photos of us. I was reading on the couch when my sister came stomping into the room holding the framed photo. She angrily asked me,
Why do you let him keep a photo of his ex in your house?
I replied, first off, it's our house, and second, she's not really an ex. She passed in an accident. She was his wife for 8 years. She was a huge part of his life, and he keeps the one photo out. That's fine with me. She rolled her eyes and replied,
An ex is anyone that you've been with who isn't in the picture anymore.
I said, that's not how that works. She died. My sister said,
It doesn't matter. So what if she got plastered by a truck? An ex is an ex. You shouldn't be letting him keep any pictures of her.
I said, you're being extremely disrespectful to me and my husband right now. You're a guest in this house, so walk back those comments and apologize.
She asked, Why should I apologize? How can you let him keep pictures of his ex plaything?
I never knew his first wife, but I know how much she meant to him. I know how much he loves me. My sister talking about her like that insulted him, and by extension, me. Not to mention how disrespectful she was being to a poor woman who died so young. I looked at my sister and said, get your crap and leave. I didn't care that it was November in Minnesota or that she didn't have anywhere else to go or any money. She had been beyond disrespectful to me and my husband over a single small photo. I said, if you're worried about sleeping in your car in this winter, you should have thought about that before insulting the people sheltering you. I made sure she was gone before my husband even got home, and he was shocked when I told him what happened. He'd always had a positive, neutral relationship with her, and he thanked me for having his back. I got a call from my mom telling me that it was my responsibility to take care of my sister, but I just laughed and hung up. I've been asked by a few people how I could basically destroy my relationship with my sister over this, but I replied that it was actually her who did so. I don't think there's anything wrong with how I acted, but my mom's making me reconsider. So, am I the bad apple? We did it, guys. We broke the pattern! Good apple, all the way. Honestly, this story meant a lot to me. Obviously, sister's so out of line, but it warms my heart how much it meant to you to defend your husband's first wife. That is beautiful. That's love. That is such a healthy relationship, in my opinion. Knowing and being comfortable and content with the fact that she meant so much to your husband, but you're so confident in your love for each other and your relationship with each other that, like, that's not only fine, but encouraged and supported. And I love that. Like, I can feel myself getting emotional about it. I think that's beautiful, and I don't know if you can see it, but I can feel it, the feelings. I think that your husband is so lucky to have such a supportive woman in his life, especially after the tragedy that he faced, and I think your sister was way out of line. That is so disrespectful. I'm so grossed out by the things that your sister said. I don't even know where to begin to talk about them. And like, thinking about the things that the sister made honestly ruins the sweetness of your relationship with your husband for me. So maybe I just won't spend a lot of time on how not okay and out of line your sister was. All I'm gonna say about the sister is something that I said earlier today. Mind your business. Not your relationship, not your husband. And for this one, I just wanna focus on how wonderful and healthy and positive and sweet that sentiment is between this husband and wife. It just makes me happy. All right, 3 good apples, 1 bad apple. We did it. And before we come to a close, I want to ask you one more thing, because I know last week I asked you about putting multiple people in Bad Apple and making it a conversation thing. And now I want to ask you, now that you want me to try that, and I will once we get to the new house in a couple weeks, scenery. Do you like the colors? Do we like bare background? Do we want fun background? Do we want just regular colors like this? I want this to be what you guys want to see. I want to make a little studio spot that you guys love, the ones you deserve. Or you might be like me, like, which is so funny because I know that like if I was watching a creator, I'd be like, I don't care. But being the creator in the scene, I just want you guys to love it so badly. It's fine, it's anxiety at its finest. I'm already sweating thinking about you guys not liking whatever I do. It's okay, it's fine. Let me know. Good vibes to send you off with. I hope today you guys just get a giant spurt of dopamine and motivation and whatever it is that you've been procrastinating on doing, whether it be something for work or school. I hope you just get all of the motivation today and just find the will to not only just get it done, but do it well, because you guys got it. I love you all, and I hope to see you guys next week. Bye, my lovelies. Mwah.